If you have been watching this channel for any length of time, you already know I have a story for this. And I will tell it. It is too good not to. But before I get there, I need to make sure this video lands for the right woman. Because not every video is for everyone. And this one is for a very specific person. This video is for the woman who is already doing the work. She is educated, she is earning, she is building something real. She reads the right things, watches the right content, invests in herself consistently. She is not lazy. She is not careless. She is not someone who needs to be told to try harder. But something is still not translating. She walks into a room and does not get the reception she expected. She sits across from women who, on paper, have done less, and somehow those women are listened to more, taken more seriously, treated with a different quality of attention. She cannot name what they have that she does not, but she feels it. Quietly, privately, every single time. She is professional, but something about her is still being read as unfinished. She is well-dressed, but her presence does not quite match her wardrobe. She is accomplished, but the way she carries herself does not yet communicate the standards she has reached internally. There is a gap between who she actually is and what the room receives when she walks in. And the most frustrating part? No one has ever told her what the gap is, because that is not something people say out loud. That is something they signal in who they call back, and who gets the seat at the table, and who gets introduced to the right person, and who gets left standing slightly outside the circle. If that is you, this video is exactly for you. Stay with me. I'm Isabel Vargas. Welcome back to Madre, or welcome for the first time. This channel exists for one kind of woman, the one who is done settling for ordinary. If you are new here, subscribe right now. You belong here, and drop the city you are watching from in the comments below. I am always down there reading. I want to know where my fellow undeniables are. Now let's get into it. 1. Elegance is not a personality type. It is a system, and it is built, not inherited. I want to tell you about a woman I met through my work as a luxury buyer. She came from money, generational money, the kind of family that has had the same accountant for 3 generations and does not discuss net worth at dinner. And here is what I noticed immediately the first time I was in a room with her. She did not try. Not in the way we think of trying. She was not performing composure. She was not carefully monitoring her body language. She was not rehearsing what she was about to say. She was simply present, completely, quietly present. And everything about her was saying something, without a single deliberate signal being sent. I asked her mother, a woman in her late 70s, how that happened, how a person becomes that. And she said something I have been turning over ever since. She said, "Isabel, elegance is not what you do when people are watching. It is what you have already done 10,000 times when no one was watching. By the time they see it, it is simply who she is." That conversation changed the way I understood the work. Because what she was describing is not talent. It is not genetics. It is not class or background or money. It is repetition. It is a specific curriculum done consistently, privately, over time, that eventually stops being something you practice and becomes something you are. Research from University College London confirms what I watched in that room. Studies on habit formation show that automatic behaviors, the ones that look effortless from the outside, take an average of 66 days of consistent repetition to become neurologically embedded. Not talent, not personality. Repetition, done right, until the behavior belongs to you. That is what no one tells you. The women you are watching in rooms, the ones you cannot fully explain, the ones who have something you have not been able to name, they are not exceptional because of something they were given. They are exceptional because of something they built. Quietly, daily, over time, when it was unglamorous and no one was watching. Now, this is only the first point. We're also going to talk about how this shows up in the way you carry yourself in private, the signals you don't realize you're sending, and the habits no one ever taught you to practice, the ones that determine how every room receives you. But before we go further, I want to pause here for a moment, because what she said, that this is built through repetition, is exactly where most women get stuck. They understand this. They see it clearly. They can even identify it in other women instantly. And yet, in their own lives, nothing quite stabilizes. The standard rises in certain moments, then disappears. The presence is there some days and gone on others. The identity is felt internally, but it does not yet translate externally in a way that holds. Not because they are incapable, because they have never been given a system to build it. That is why I created the Undeniables Blueprint, a precise 30-day curriculum that takes you from understanding this work to actually embodying it, so your habits, your presence, and your environment begin to align consistently with the woman you already know you are. 70 pages, 4 phases, $47. Truthfully, it could very easily be a $99 blueprint for the value inside it. I made it $47 because I believe every woman should have access to this kind of work. If you feel that gap in yourself, it's there for you. First link in the description, or you can scan the code on your screen. Start today. Now let's continue. 2. It starts with how you carry yourself in private, not in public. The mistake most women make is trying to correct the external signals without addressing the internal source. They buy the wardrobe, they research the etiquette, they watch the videos, and still something reads as off, because the external signals are downstream of the internal standard. And until the internal standard is set, the external corrections do not hold. I watched this happen in real time with a woman I was consulting for briefly a few years ago. Senior director at a financial firm in Manhattan. Exceptionally capable. She had invested significantly in her appearance, the right clothes, the right grooming, the right accessories, and she could not understand why she was still being passed over for client-facing roles in favor of a colleague she considered her equal. The feedback she eventually received, quietly, from a mentor, she looked the part, but she did not yet inhabit it. The way you occupy a room when no one important is watching is the same way you will occupy it when someone is. The standard cannot be situational. The women who read as naturally exceptional are not exceptional in certain rooms. They are consistent. At their kitchen table, at a business lunch, in a grocery store, the standard does not change. And it does not change because it is no longer an effort. It has been internalized. The internal work comes first, always. 3. The signals you are not aware of are the ones doing the most damage. There is a woman I know, not a close friend, but someone in my orbit, who is warm, intelligent, and genuinely well-intentioned, and she does not understand why she is consistently treated as slightly less than the standard she holds for herself. I watched her at dinner once, and I could see it immediately, not in what she said, in what she did between sentences. She apologized for her order. She laughed at herself before anyone else had a reaction. She adjusted her opinion mid-sentence when she sensed mild disagreement. She did not do any of this consciously. That is exactly the problem. Microsignals, the small, involuntary behaviors that happen between the deliberate ones, are where rooms make their assessments. A study from Harvard Business School found that social judgments about status and competence are formed within the first few seconds of interaction, primarily through nonverbal cues, before a single word is processed by the listener. The women who are received well in rooms are not received well because they say the right things. They are received well because of what they signal in the spaces between what they say. The posture, the pause before speaking, the absence of self-diminishment. These are not inherited traits. They are trained ones. 4. The women you admire most practice things you have never been told to practice. The finishing school model, the formal, structured, rigorous one, still exists in certain European families, not as an institution, as a household curriculum. I have seen versions of it in Lyon, in Florence, and in certain old-money New York homes. It is not about which fork to use. It is about the daily habits of self-regulation, self-presentation, and internal standard, done repetitively in private over years, that produce a woman who cannot be shaken by a room. My mother carried traces of it, her mother before her. Not because they were wealthy, because they were deliberate. Most of the women watching this were never given that curriculum. Not because they didn't deserve it, because it was never made available outside of a very specific world. That is what I am here to change. Your assignment for this week: pick the one space in your life where you know your standard is inconsistent, where you are one woman when it matters and a slightly different one when it doesn't. Identify it precisely, and then come back and tell me what it is in the comments. I read every single one. That is where your work begins. Until next time, you are not here by accident. You are an undeniable. Act like it. Isabel?